Nigel Harnell from Campbell Arts, and I'm National Account Manager on Coles business. Joe Berryawards found out through work, through our HR business partner. The business is very supportive of the award and was proactive in seeking out people who wanted to participate. A colleague of mine who participated last year and made it through the final, so he's been useful in helping me prepare and set my expectations. So, plenty of presentations in my time, but none for competitions as such, so yeah, there's an element of nerves, absolutely.
My question's about risk, managing risk. You mentioned the statements there from retail, but manufacturers are also doing this as well, where they're making statements about being sustainable by a certain amount of time. So my question is around how do you manage the risk that, firstly, what are you saying about your current practices?
Yep.
And also, what if you don't make those claims by that particular time, you make a statement that's not livable?
I think we're in the situation we're in because current practices aren't good enough, or certainly historical practices. I don't think there's too many big businesses would want to hide behind the fact that they've been conducting their business in a way that hasn't necessarily been 100% sustainable, but certainly want to move in that direction. I think that's anyone would acknowledge that, whether it's the household in terms of improved recycling in the home, reducing your own waste and things like that. Most people would acknowledge that things haven't been great. So in terms of sticking your hand in the air and saying, hey, look, our business isn't where it needs to be, but these are the goals we want to set, I don't think there's going to be too much of a backlash around right here and now that you're operating your business in a way that's not ideal. In terms of managing risk, well, certainly it just comes down to how serious you are about sustainability. I think the opportunity exists certainly for all players, big and small, to tackle sustainability in a way that gets them to a position or gets them to a goal or an end place that is certainly where consumers want us to be. And those who don't will suffer the consequences. So by all means, stick your neck out and put some pretty ambitious goals there. But don't be afraid that if you fall short by 2 or 3% that you're going to be lambasted for it. I think the intent is probably what most consumers are going to be looking for in terms of how they score retailers and producers going forward.
My head's still spinning a little bit from questions from the likes of Bernie Brooks and John Durkin and other guys in the industry that I certainly look up to. I would have liked the structured presentation to have gone a little bit better. I felt particularly nervous through that stage, which is ironic considering that's the bit I was well aware of and had rehearsed and practiced and knew all the content. I think you end up putting a lot of pressure on yourself to deliver the content in the most perfect way, as you did at all the run-throughs in your head and last night and this morning. I felt the questions probably were I was a little more relaxed throughout the questions. It was a question that John Durkin asked around sustainability and the potential conflict of needing to feed so many people in the future. How do we do that sustainably? And around the issue of ethical sourcing to almost clash in a lot of ways in terms of being able to produce products or produce inputs in the food production process in terms of doing those ethically and doing those environmentally friendly, but also having to feed so many billions of people. I'd like to come back. It's certainly the experience hasn't been one that I wouldn't want to repeat. It'll just depend on the topics, I think, and whether there's anything of interest in next year's selection.